is up, sports fans? Today is Friday, and y'all know what that means. That means today is Footy Friday with me, Dr. Hank Venture. So, today I'm bringing you a gameplay of me playing as Manchester United against Manchester City. Now, the reason why I played as Man U was because I wanted to prove a point to this kid. Because he played me as Man City twice. Now, for those of you in the FIFA community who play, it's not cool to pick the same team after you already lost once. Like, I beat Man City with Arsenal, and I got a shit ton of points because Arsenal's they don't have nearly the caliber of players that Man City does. So what I did here is I played a pretty even match. I picked a team who I thought was going to compete really well against Manchester City's top performers, and I think I proved my point. Now, what I've done here is I've loaded up the first half of the game, and I then chopped out the first minute and something of the second half of the game. Otherwise, I wouldn't have enough room in the video for anything. And by that I mean it was over the 15-minute time length. I needed to cut something out. So I cut out the other guy's 2 goals because they were really sloppy mistakes on my part. Giving up stupid things like backwards passes to my defenseman that were nowhere near strong enough to even get to the defenseman. That way he could just take it with Carlos Tevez and just score easily. Carlos Tevez got his 2 goals and he was gloating with his celebrations. So at the end of the match, I go up 2 more on him, and I do my gloating. So okay, today I have a couple relevant sports topics to me, and these all involve the NFL, which, for my European friends who don't know, that is the National Football League. It is not your football. I love your football. Oh, look at Nani. Oh my, what a strike. I love your football, as you can see. I mean, I do a segment each week on European football, but I also love my football, and my football involves overweight men running into one another with lots and lots of padding on as they complain about how much their head hurts because they have a concussion all the time. This is one of my favorite things because of Tom Brady, and Tom Brady alone. Because Tom Brady, despite his Justin Bieber-esque hair, is still one of the sexiest players alive. I mean, he and David Beckham just hand in hand. That would be an attractive child. Anyway, let me get on to it. So, for those of you who do know, the Seattle Seahawks, they pulled a little bit of a stunner last week. To many people's surprise, they are the lowest ranked NFL team to ever make it into the playoffs. This is because their division is just so piss poor. Every single one of the teams in the division is just so negative. I mean, I think what were they? I can't remember. Shoot, I had this written down. Where did it go? So they were extremely negative. They were projected to lose handily last weekend, and what ended up happening was somewhat of a surprise. They actually won by a margin. They just decided that it would be best to, I don't know, destroy somebody for once. So yeah, this is kind of fun because who did they play? They played New Orleans. Okay. I was right. I was thinking they played New Orleans. I wasn't gonna say anything, but oh, another goal. Look at that. Wayne Rooney, you silly son of a bitch. Anyway, so they played the they played the Saints, which for those of you who don't know, the Saints are or were a good team. I don't think they were as good as they were cracked up to be. I still have my doubts. I mean, they were 11-5, which that I would say that's pretty good. I mean, I didn't think they were by any means they were a Super Bowl contender, but what I will say about them is that they have one of the best quarterbacks in the league. In Drew Brees, he always manages to find somebody. He never really gives up, a ton of interceptions until these past couple weeks. I mean, he gave up a lot. But anyway, back to the Seahawks. The Seahawks are 7-9 in the regular season. Now they're coming out of a division where everyone is ranked below them. So you can imagine people's surprise when all of a sudden they come out of the NFC playoffs with a first round win. I mean, that's a little bit surprising to me, especially because the Saints defense is pretty good. I think their offense let them down a little bit. They could have had many more points. But the Seahawks led almost completely by Matt Hasselbeck up until Marshawn Lynch had a ridiculous run. Oh my God. What was it? 65, 69 yarder, something like that. Just beautiful. He literally broke 5 tackles on his way to the end zone. And this was extremely surprising to many, just because he kind of revived his career because of the Seahawks. He hadn't been doing so well when he played for, I believe it was Buffalo, so they let him go. And I think the Seahawks made out well. I mean, he's a top running back in the National Football League. While he doesn't put up the numbers like he used to, I still knew he had something in him. He always seems to suck until he makes it into the playoffs, and then it's game time. But let's see. Coming up for Seattle is Chicago. Chicago's another 11-5 team. The problem is Chicago has an incredible defense. They're usually always ranked towards the top. Okay, really quickly, let me interject something here. As you guys can see, the top left-hand corner where the score is, yeah, that's my 2 mistakes. And I make this kid pay. He gloated after his 2 goals, and you know what? You don't gloat when you're down 4-2 still. Anyway, moving on. So back to football. Chicago's 11-5. They have one of the bitchiest quarterbacks in the league, which I don't like. Jay Cutler just rubs me the wrong way. Something about him is just so ridiculous. He used to play for Denver, and when they were good, he kept his mouth shut. When they were bad, he turned into the biggest dickhead anybody had ever seen. Now, I say that, and he's a good quarterback. Like, he's leading a team to an 11-5 season. That's pretty solid. But the problem is, he's just the big. You could make so many derps about him at any given time of a football game. It's great. But he comes in with the backing of receiver Johnny Knox, who's a great receiver. He's got 960 yards on the season. This is kind of disappointing. He should have had a 1,000-yard season, but he didn't, which, not too bad. And then he's got the rushing of Matt Forte, and Matt Forte is a 1,000-yard rusher, which is solid by NFL standards. I didn't have too much confidence in him last season, which is why I dropped him from my fantasy team, and it was kind of a mistake. He actually turned out pretty well. I think he was in the high 900s for rushing yards. But let's see, who else do they have? They've got Chester Taylor, and Chester Taylor, he's just kind of their go-to fullback. He doesn't really do much other than block. Seahawks' biggest challenge this weekend is going to be overcoming the Bears' defense. That is the biggest concern for them. And you know what? Honestly, I'm pulling for the Seahawks. I would love to see the Bears lose, especially after Brian Urlacher ripped on my Patriots team, saying that they were still the better team, that they were, not going to lose to Tom Brady because their defense would take care of him. And the problem with that is, after you say that, you don't normally get away with it against Tom Brady because he put up 36 points as opposed to the Bears' 7. We had a lot of help from our defense in that game too, but it was ugly. Another big match this weekend. Sorry guys. My pick is Seahawks. I'm gonna call it at. Oh, this is going to be close. I'm going to call it 17-13 Seahawks. I think the Seahawks are going to manage somehow to just pull that one out. They're going to suck it up. It's going to work out in their favor. So, moving on. Next are Pats and Jets. Patriots are my boys, as many of you have probably heard. I would love nothing more than to see another incredible stomping of the Jets. That would absolutely make my year. I mean, the Jets have done nothing but disrespect that team more than you could possibly imagine. And I mean, they can show them a bit of disrespect, especially when they win the first game, 28-14, that they played against one another. And what I do not like is the fact that they keep trash talking despite their 45-3 loss at the Patriots. I mean, that's ridiculous. There's no reason for that. Now, let's see. Tom Brady recently hasn't been spectacular in the playoffs like he has during the regular season. A lot of people remember that Super Bowl loss where they should have absolutely taken that perfect season and crammed it because of some ridiculous catch by a convict, Plaxico Burress. Their record-breaking season was tarnished. Let's put it that way. They should have absolutely destroyed the Giants team. There should have been nothing that kept them from absolutely massacring that team. They were far out ranked in every category. But that's beside the point. This weekend, I absolutely think the Patriots will beat the Jets. Jets are 11-5. Pats are 14-2. I think that their last game spoke for itself. I mean, they went and beat the Jets 45-3. Then they went to Chicago and they played a tough Bears team and made them look like girls. They played Green Bay at home and they beat Green Bay. They played Buffalo. Buffalo's not nearly a contest. I mean, they won that 34-3. And then they played